What is good, you guys? Welcome back to the channel, man. We are here. We are back with a brand new video for you guys. Listen, we have a very special video for you guys. This has been a staple of this channel in the past. Obviously before I paused and making videos, but we're back. Obviously, just uploaded one about less than a week ago about the Charlotte Hornets. Go check that out if you guys have not already, man. It's a very good video. Today we're going to be doing a mock draft in honor of the national championship game. Today we are going to be doing a mock draft. Well, I might do a mock draft every Monday. There's a creator called Bengal. Shout out to Bengal. I got the idea from him, mock draft Mondays. He does it for the NFL. I might just do it for the NBA. We'll see. Something along those lines, though, because I do want to get a lot of college basketball content as well as NBA content. So we're gonna have probably like alternating videos. One video will be NBA, one video will be college basketball. But let's get right into it, man. We're on Fanspo. That's the best place to do mock drafts in my opinion. Not sponsored whatsoever, but Fanspo is really good. The order is determined by Fanspo. The draft board is ESPN's draft board right here. This is not my best available players. This is ESPN's. And one new feature that I actually came across when I was exploring this simulator was the trade pick feature right here. And that was very unique to me. I mean, I was like, I was very impressed with that. I was like, I'm gonna have to do a mock draft where I do mock drafts of trades. But obviously that's not what I prepared for today. So we're gonna just do a straight mock draft with no trades, and we're gonna get right into it. So the Detroit Pistons are number one on the board. They have the first overall pick. As we all know, man, it's been a disappointing season for them, coming to an end. Looking at what they need, obviously, you have this roster right here. The depth chart. Cade, Ivy, Ausar, Isaiah Stewart, Jalen Duren has been the starting lineup. I do think they need that wing who can play be like a 3-4 for them for the future. I like Ausar. Ausar can be like a 2-3 for them. Just looking at everybody on here, my number one prospect on the board is none other than where is he? Ron Holland. He is my number one prospect on the board. This actually is a feature where you can see what other people think of Ron Holland. One of the most well-rounded athletes in the class. Ideal frame, 6'8" with long arms, solid mover off ball, good cutter, great driver, great finisher. He's not a good shooter. That's the only issue with his game for me, is that he just can't shoot the ball that well. But I do think he's growing in that department. I love Ron Holland as the best overall prospect in the class, but I just think the fit in Detroit would be a little bit clunky, just because he doesn't shoot the ball too well. With Ausar Thompson, the best fit, in my opinion, would probably be a guy like Zachary Risache. I also do like Alex Sarr with this pick, but just because I just do think that the Pistons need talent, and I do think Ron Holland's jump shot can be developed, I'm going to have Ron Holland be their pick, and he's going to be the 3-4 for the future, or whatever they decide to play him. He's 6'8", so I think he can play both. He's flexible enough, versatile enough. They already have Isaiah Stewart, who's 6'8", playing that position anyway. At 2, we have the Washington Wizards. They, in my opinion, need a big more than anyone. I do like this man right here, Tristan Vukcevic. I don't know if the K is silent or not, but I do know him because he played overseas. He played. Did he play? I think he did play on Mega. He might have played with Nikola Jovic, if I'm not mistaken. But I'm gonna have the Washington Wizards going Alex Sarr. He is a top 3 player on my board. He is very good defensively. I mean, I wish I could go back and show you what the people thought of him, but defensively, he's a beast. He's a menace. He can guard multiple positions. And the only thing about Alex Sarr for me is the shooting and the rebounding. At 7'1", I just think his rebounding could be a lot better. I don't know. To me, sometimes he just plays I don't want to say soft, but it's like he just doesn't play as big as he should be. For a guy that's 7'1", you would expect him to get more boards than what he does in the NBL. But I'm going to go Alex Sarr at number 2 here. And then we can move on to Charlotte at number 3. Now, Charlotte is interesting. Now, I really like a lot of players in Charlotte. I like Risache. I like Cody Williams. I like Matas. I definitely do think it has to be a wing, even though I have guys, available on my best available are Topic and Stephon Castle down here. Those two are my best available. But this is a situation where you already have a LaMelo Ball. The difference was the Pistons didn't really have anybody solidified at the wing position, which is why I just went with the best available player for them. Here you have LaMelo. I understand he's been injured, but LaMelo is still the best player on that team when healthy. So I don't think I can go with a point guard like a Castle or a Topic. And Castle is a point guard to me. I don't care what anybody says. He's a point forward, I guess, if you want to say that. The Brandon Miller pick was a home run pick for them. I really like that pick. I do think that they are missing that 4, that guy who can space the floor next to Melo. So for spacing purposes, I'm gonna go with Zachary Risache at number 3. I just feel like he's the best shooter in this class. He can space the floor really, really well. Or he's one of the best shooters for sure, if not the best. But I feel like he's up there. Really good floor spacer at 6'10", gives me a lot of MPJ vibes. I'm so sorry I keep forgetting to hit this button to give you guys the scouting profile. At number 4, we have the San Antonio Spurs. I still think they need that PG of the future to get the ball to Vic. You could go with Stephon Castle, but I feel like the best point guard in the class is Nikola Topic. Just looking at his profile, he gets to the rim really, really well, man. Nikola Topic gets to the rim. I can't read all this, bro. I'm sorry. Okay, here we go. Really good ball handler, best playmaker in the draft, great driver. Yup, good finisher, good mid. He just can't shoot the 3. A lot of the top prospects just can't shoot the 3 in this class, apart from Risache. But apart from the 3-point shooting, he is very, very elite in every other category, in my opinion. Maybe the pull-up mid-range shot could use a little work as well, but elite at getting to the rim, at finishing at the rim, at passing. I think he's a good rebounder for his position. Could use some work defensively. My only fear is that this could end up being like another Dante Exum. And we see Dante Exum right now is having a resurgence, but when he was drafted, I think he was drafted exactly 5th to the Jazz. He had very similar, he had a lot of similarities to Nikola Topic. And Dante Exum probably wasn't as good of a finisher as Topic, but the playmaking was on par for sure when he was coming out from the NBL. Both couldn't shoot. There are similarities, but he could also become like a Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Tyrese Halliburton if you buy into the shot, which I do. I think I buy into his shot more than I bought into Dante Exum's shot when Dante Exum was coming into the draft. So I'm going to go with Topic here for the Spurs. They love their international prospects. We have Topic, and then we have Portland at number 6. Yeah, I mean, there is. It's very interesting. It's very interesting with Portland. Scoot, Simons, Shaden Sharp. I think they're kind of set on guards. I mean, my best player on the board is Stephon Castle. And I might go with Stephon Castle. Let me. He can't really shoot the ball, but can pass. Good defender. They could use a wing. Here. Stephon Castle. He's a point guard, but I just can't see him go past 6, man. I just think he's too good. I mean, go past 5. I think he's too good, and he reminds me a lot of Jimmy Butler. I don't know if that comp has been thrown out. They say young SGA, Jalen Suggs, Nickeil Alexander-Walker. I feel like he reminds me of Jimmy because of the fact they just play so hard. I understand they have an abundance of guards on that team. They have a lot, and maybe that's why I pass him up right now, and I have him going 6 to Toronto, because Toronto's up next. But the problem with Toronto is that they have their own point forward already in Scotty Barnes, so I just don't really want to do that. The Blazers have Scoot, who's gonna have the ball in his hands, and Simons. Oh, this is so tough for me. This is so tough. Because I want to make sure I'm picking the right fit for this kid. You know what? We're gonna have the Blazers go with Matas Buzelis, who's another one of the higher prospects I have remaining on my board, and he's gonna go at number 6 just because of the fit. I just can't see Stephon Castle playing with all those guards, man. He just won't get the ball enough to me. Toronto, I like Stephon Castle, but just Scotty Barnes is already that point forward for them. Quickly is good. I mean, you could go Dillingham, but Quickly and Dillingham have their similarities. Both shifty guards who could like to score the ball. I do think they need a wing, so I'm going to go with Cody Williams. I just can't see him fall past a certain point. I might go with Stephon Castle here. I might. I really might, just because Ja, Desmond Bane, Zaire Williams. Oh, this is so tough to me. Do I go Stephon Castle or do I go Rob Dillingham? You know what? The Grizzlies, their motto is grit and grind. Stephon Castle fits that. We're going to go with Stephon Castle. I understand Ja is the point guard of that team, but I do think they can share the ball handling duties, especially because they don't really have another ball handler. I mean, Marcus Smart, if you want to call him a ball handler in that starting lineup, is fine. But I just feel like at this point in his career, Marcus Smart would be a lot better suited to come off the bench. And you could even have Stephon Castle come off the bench in his rookie season. Could be a pick for the future. Stephon Castle would have been a great fit in Utah as well. I mean, I could have gone with him in Utah, but I just didn't want to do that. Just because I just couldn't see him falling past a certain point. Keontae George has been their point guard. I just think Keontae George is more of a 2 to me. Let me see. I don't know if you guys can see the screen. I'm just looking at Keontae George's height. He's 6'4". That's fine. So maybe you could play the 2. I was thinking of going with Rob Dillingham. I like Reed Sheppard. Reed Sheppard can play off the ball. Dalton Connect is okay. I do think with Colin Sexton already being there, Jordan Clarkson. Actually, you know what? I'm going with Rob Dillingham. This is the best player available. I'm overthinking it right now. Utah is not a team that has a solidified guy anywhere, so apart from Lowry. So I'm going to go with Rob Dillingham. And then we have Houston at 9. Houston is interesting. I love the Amen Thompson pick. Again, Amen Thompson and Stephon Castle have their similarities. I do think Amen Thompson's a better athlete for sure. He's probably a better playmaker as well. But they have their similarities. I think Stephon Castle might be a better shooter. Even though Stephon Castle doesn't shoot that much, he's still a better shooter to me than Amen Thompson. So he's not on the board, obviously. I'm just talking about Amen Thompson as a prospect here. Amen Thompson could transition to like a backup PG or even a starting PG in a couple years. They have Cam Whitmore. I love that pick. The Tari Eason thing, he's injured right now. We'll see how he does when he comes back. I think they could use some guard depth, and they're a team that wants to compete for sure. They want to compete for I don't want to say a title, but they want to get to the playoffs more than anything. Just looking at who all is on the board right now, it's tough. It's tough. Man, it's so tough. I don't even know who to go with, because my best player on the board right now is Reed Sheppard, and I like Reed Sheppard, but I just don't know if he'd fit because Fred is already a smaller PG. Unless you want Reed Sheppard coming off your bench, but to me he's more of a 2 than a 1. But you know what? I think they could use some guard depth. Jacoby Walter is who I'm going to go with. I think he could be a backup 2 to Jalen Green. Just because he's a little bigger. He has more size than Reed Sheppard, so I'm going to go with Jacoby Walter. At 10, Atlanta. Shoot, man. Atlanta is just interesting to predict because we don't even know if Trey's going to be there, DeJounte's going to be there. But as of right now, I'm assuming that they're both going to be back. We'll see what happens, but I don't know. I mean, Trey could be traded, but yeah, Trey could be traded. I just don't know like when or you know how hot that rumor even is. I know the Spurs really wanted a point guard, but in this mock draft, I had the Spurs going with Topic. I know the Lakers have been interested, but yeah, again, I just don't know if I'm gonna have to do it on the assumption that Trae Young's gonna be back. So for that, I'm gonna go with Dalton Connect. I just feel like he would fit that team because of his spacing. The Hawks, another team that wants to compete for a playoff spot. I just don't think they want to wait, so I'm gonna have them going with Dalton Connect. The Bulls could be a candidate, a team that is a candidate to blow it up. I do like taking a center here, like a Donovan Clingan. I'm gonna tell you right now, Zach Edey's not going in my first round. So I don't know why he's at 13. He's having a really good season, but to me, he's just not a first round pick. Maybe second round, but first round, I'm not taking him. That's just a side note. If you guys get pissed about that, Lonzo is coming back next year. They have LaVine, Dalen Terry, Javonte Green. You know what? Donovan Clingan is going to be the pick for me, just because Vucevic is just regressed so much this season, and then they have Drummond, but I think Drummond might leave in free agency. Clingan is the pick for me. We're going to have to go to Utah next. Utah is really interesting, and I'm actually going to go with a player that I really like for them, and that is Reed Shepherd. Shea's already a bigger point guard. I feel like him at the 2, because Josh Giddey, I feel like, is expendable at this point. I just don't think he's the answer at that 2 position, just because his shooting deficiencies. Reed Shepherd can shoot the ball really well. Like his efficiency, I mean, you see it right here, 54% from the field. Crazy. So I'm going to have him going Reed Shepherd. I also did like Kyle Filipowski for them, but I decided against it. 13 we have Portland again. Portland took, what's his name? Who did Portland take from me? I think they took Matas, right? Yeah, Matas. Probably says it up here, maybe. Where does it say? Oh, yeah, Matas Buzelis with the 5th pick. Interesting. This is very interesting. I could go with a ton of guys here. I'm just trying to see like who all are available. I don't like ESPN's board just because they have some guys who are like higher than I would have, like ED and Saloon. Saloon is okay at 15, I guess, but ED, hell no. Like there's no way I'm taking him that high. Buzelis is a 3 for them. They might have to, cope with the fact that Jeremy Grant is leaving in free agency. For that reason, not in free agency, he's probably going to get traded is what I'm trying to say. For that reason, I'm going to go with Kyle Filipowski. Just feel like they just need to bolster up their front court. I think they're set on guards. I just don't want to see them take another guard just because you drafted Scoot, you have Simons, you have Sharp. I just don't think how many more guards you need. Like, you need forwards, in my opinion. I like Ayton and Robert Williams as their centers. Filipowski and Buzelis is a good draft for them. Pelicans at 14 is interesting. Super interesting. I feel like Pelicans need, Jordan Hawkins is a really good shooter. Dyson Daniels, Jose Alvarado, B.I., Trey Murphy, Herb Jones. I think they're good on forwards. I don't mind center for them. I really don't mind center for them. I think Jonas is okay. But I just feel like we're at the point where Jonas Valanciunas, that's just a little redundant. You could go with a point guard, but again, you have Dyson Daniels who needs to develop. You have Jose Alvarado. I think center is the spot I'm going to go with, and I'm actually going to go with a guy who can play small ball with them at the 5. They have him listed at a 3 here, but he reminds me of like a PJ Washington player who can really shoot the ball, and that's going to be Tyler Smith out of the Ignite. Really good shooter. He can shoot the lights out. I just feel like with this Pelicans team, he would fit a lot better. I'm not saying Valanciunas can't shoot, but Tyler Smith is definitely a better shooter than Valanciunas. So we're gonna go with Tyler Smith at with the end of the lottery, the last pick in the lottery, and then we have the Miami Heat. The Miami Heat, as a Heat fan, I think we are missing 2 things. We are missing a front court, a solid front court depth, and we are also missing another point guard. I'm going to go with Isaiah Collier. I think he fits Heat culture. I like Isaiah Collier as a prospect. I think he's the best point guard available. We're going to go with Isaiah Collier. Get another point guard because we just lack point guard depth on this team. Sixers are up next. Joel, Tyrese, Kyle Lowry's on this team. Kelly Oubre, Tobias Harris. I feel like they need some shooting. I think they need some shooting. You could go with a guy like Jared McCain here. I don't mind Saloon. I do mind Saloon. I don't mind McCullough is what I was about to say. Because I think McCullough is a guy who's like... The thing about McCullough is he's a guy who's like... I compare him to like the Jaime Jaquez of this year's draft, where it's like he's a senior, he's a guy who does it all. He's a winning player. So I'm actually going to go with McCullough just because Tobias Harris, I'm not sure how long he's going to be on that team. You know, just because I know his contract is a little lengthy, but this might be a team who's looking to trade Tobias Harris, and they already have money in free agency. We'll see what happens with that. I'm going to go with Kevin McCullough for now. I think they have Buddy Hield already, so I don't think they really want to get Jared McCain, who is going to be my pick if not for Buddy Hield being there. Toronto, I think, desperately needs a center just because I had him taking Cody Williams at number 6. I feel like Jakob Poeltl's good. He's solid, but for the future, I think they would need a center. Fans still got to fix their depth chart, man. Jontay Porter, he might be working at McDonald's in a couple of days because I don't think he's going to play an NBA game anytime soon. Yves Missy is the guy I'm going to go with, actually. He's one of my favorite prospects in this class, man. He's very athletic. Reminds me a lot of Jalen Duren, Mark Williams, that type of prospect. Excuse me. Yves Missy is who I'm going to go with the Toronto Raptors pick at 17. And then at 18, Atlanta, who took Dalton Connect, is back on the board. And here we're going to have him take do we go center? They have a Okongwu, they have Capella. I still think they want to develop Big O. I could go with the guard. You know what? I feel like Atlanta could use some toughness, man. They could use some toughness, in my opinion. I'm going to go with... Oh, this is so tough to me. I love Tyler Kolek. I absolutely love Tyler Kolek. I just don't think they need another guy like that. Devin Carter. He's a winning player. Senior. Reminds me a lot of like Bruce Brown. You know, that type. Derek White. Could be a guy for them that could help them win. The Cavs could do some shooting. I mean, I know they have Max Strus. They have Max Strus. They could also use a backup center. I just don't think they need to take one right now at, what is this, pick 19? Yeah, there's no need to take a backup center at this point. We're going to have the Cavs go with... Johnny Furphy is really good. I like Johnny Furphy's game a lot. Terrence Shannon is good. Dylan Jones. Whew, man, this is tough. This is really tough. Extremely tough. I'm not even sure who I want to take right now. Man, this is tough, man. This is really tough. I was gonna go with Jared McCain, but you know what? I'm going with Jared McCain. I just don't know what the guard situation is gonna be next year. I don't know who's gonna be there between Garland and Darius, and even if they're both there, I feel like Jared McCain is a guy that a lot of teams can just use. He's a guy who can shoot the ball at a high level. I mean, any team could use that. The Suns could have used Jared McCain. But with the Suns, we're going to have to go in a different direction. I'm going to go, for the Suns, I'm going to go with Tyler Kolek. I just think their point guard position, they're forcing Bradley Beal and Devin Booker to play that position. Booker is a good playmaker, but they're both scorers to me. Tyler Kolek is a true PG. He's going to get his guys involved. He's going to be a guy who's very similar to a guy that they already had in the past, Goran Dragic. Tyler Kolek is very similar to him, man. He's one of my favorite players in the class. I'm super high on him. We have New Orleans next, who took Tyler Smith. Next, I'm not sure who they could go with their next pick. The point guard position is thinned out a little bit. I was going to go with the point guard, but again, I like Carl Carrington a lot, but I don't know if I want him at 21, maybe a little lower than that. But he's definitely scored the ball. I think they're good on their point guard position, though. My best player available is someone who I might have him go with then. But at the same time, my best player available is a forward, and I'm like, how many forwards do they need? Trey Murphy, Zion, B.I., Herb Jones, still have B.J. Liddell, Najee Marshall. Like, they have a ton of forwards. Interesting, man. Super interesting. I don't even know who I want to take at this point. Yeah, I'm not sure. I am really not sure. But just for the purpose of having a team take a guy who can help them win right now, we are going to go with... Oh, this is so tough to me. Because, like, who do I want to take? We're going with Tristan Da Silva. He's my best player available. I'm just gonna take him. When in doubt, just go with the BPA. Tristan Da Silva is my best player available. We have New Orleans over here. New Orleans is good. New Orleans is a good team. Not New Orleans, New York. New York is a good team. Brunson, DiVincenzo, OG Hart, Julius, Isaiah Hartenstein. I'm going to go with Tijan Saloon. It's a guy that can develop a forward to back up Julius Randle. Orlando could use some shooting. And because of that, I might go... What pick are we on? 23rd. I don't think it's crazy for me to go with a guy like Johnny Furphy. He shoots with size. So we're going to go with Johnny Furphy. Milwaukee, who's this? Milwaukee at 24. They need defense more than anything, in my opinion. So we're gonna go with the best defensive prospect in the class, in my opinion. That's Ryan Dunn. That is a lock to me. I think that's a very good pick for them. New York again. I would hate this team to get this guy, but it just makes too much sense to me. Just because he can score the ball at such a high level, and I feel like that shooting guard position is a little bit thin for them. So my guy, my Fighting Illini, Terrence Shannon. I'm sorry, bro. I don't want to see you go to New York as a Miami Heat fan. You know, obviously as an Illini fan, I just can't see one of my guys play for the Knicks. But he just fits, you know, what they need at this point. Winning player, Terrence Shannon Jr. Wizards at 26, which is the Clippers pick. They just took Sarr. I'm going to have him going with a point guard here, probably. My best players on the board, there's 26, 27, 28. There's 5 picks remaining, okay? Kaishan George is on there. Carlton Carrington's on there. Dylan Jones is on here. And then after that, maybe Bobby Klintman. Khalil Ware. Definitely not him. I don't even know why he declared for the draft, but I hope he maintained his college eligibility. Not him. Yep, so we're probably going to go with, I want to go with a kind of like a point forward for them, and that's what Kaishan George is to me. So we're going to go with Kaishan George. Oh, that's a terrible, I already had Carlton Carrington on. It's fine, I'll go Carlton Carrington with another team. That's okay. Utah. Ooh, this is interesting. Center position. Utah, Lauri Markkanen, Taylor. You know what? Who's the next team on the board? Timberwolves. So the last 4 picks to me are Bobby Klintman, Khalil Ware, Carlton Carrington, and Dylan Jones in any order. I think the Timberwolves are gonna take Carlton Carrington for me, just to have a point guard for them. I think they could use a PG. Timberwolves could also use Dylan Jones though, so we're gonna hold off on that. I like Walker Kessler. We're gonna take Bobby Klintman for Utah, and then we're gonna go to the Timberwolves, who I think could use some wing depth. You could go point guard here, but I think they could use wing depth more than anything. So I'm gonna go with Dylan Jones, who just is a winning player. Reminds me a lot of like David Roddy. Now we have Denver and we have Boston. Denver and Boston, man. We're gonna have the Nuggets go with who is it? This is 2 picks remaining, right? Yeah, 2 picks remaining. We're gonna have the Nuggets go with Carlton Carrington, backup PG to Jamal Murray for the future, and then we're gonna have Boston going with Khalil Ware, who can be another center for them to be a depth piece. And that is gonna be our mock draft. Yeah, I like this mock draft. I think it has a little bit of everything. You know, there's some maybe here or there fits that are like a little clunky, but apart from that, I think this mock draft is solid, and we're gonna rock with it for now. Definitely gonna do another one soon, so make sure you guys stay tuned for that one. And yeah, really excited about this one. Make sure you guys leave a like, subscribe, and comment down below. Let me know your thoughts, man. As in, like, with your favorite team, who do you think you guys should take? What do you think the best fits are? Shout out to Fanspo for this. Let me know what your favorite pick was, your least favorite pick was. Again, this is just my opinion, and this is what I would do. This is not what I'm predicting other GMs to do, because a lot of these I don't think will happen. This is just what I would do if I was a GM of all these teams. But we're gonna wrap it up here, man. Leave a like, subscribe, comment down below, and I'll see you later as always. Peace.